Ethan Parker hadn't planned on stopping. He was already running late, his phone buzzing with a reminder he'd ignored 3 times, and his 6-year-old daughter Lily's glitter-covered drawing sliding around on the passenger seat beside him. The sky was turning orange with sunset, traffic was building, and all he wanted was to get home, feed Lily dinner, and mentally prepare himself for the blind date his sister had practically forced on him that evening. Blind dates were not his thing. Not since his wife, Marissa, had passed away 3 years earlier. Life since then had been a blur of school lunches, bedtime stories, laundry piles, and quiet nights after Lily fell asleep. He loved his daughter more than anything, but somewhere along the way, he'd stopped thinking of himself as a man who dated. He was just dad now. That's why he almost drove right past the stalled car on the shoulder. Almost. But then he noticed the woman standing beside it, arms wrapped tightly around herself, phone pressed to her ear, frustration written across her face. Cars sped by without slowing. The hood of her sedan was popped open uselessly. Ethan sighed and flicked on his turn signal. "Of course," he muttered. He pulled over a few yards ahead and grabbed his jacket. The woman looked startled when he approached, but relief softened her expression. "Everything okay?" Ethan asked. She shook her head. "I don't know what happened. It just died. I tried calling roadside assistance, but they said it could take over an hour." Ethan glanced at the engine. "Mind if I take a look?" "If you know what you're doing, please." He smiled faintly. "I'm no mechanic, but I've had enough junk cars over the years to fake it." He popped the hood fully and leaned in, immediately spotting the issue. "Loose battery cable," he said. "Happens more often than you'd think." Her eyes lit up. "Really?" "Yeah, give me a minute." He tightened the cable, wiped his hands on a rag he kept in his trunk, single dads learn to be prepared, and asked casually, "You heading somewhere important?" She hesitated. "A blind date." He winced in sympathy. "Yikes." She laughed despite herself. "That bad?" "I've been avoiding one all week." Her eyebrows lifted. "You too?" "Unfortunately." They shared a brief smile, the kind that comes from mutual dread. He finished securing the cable and gestured for her to try starting the car. The engine roared back to life instantly. She gasped, "Oh my gosh, you're a lifesaver." "Just good timing." She stepped closer. "Thank you, seriously, I was starting to panic." Up close, Ethan noticed she had kind eyes and a soft voice. Late 20s or early 30s maybe, elegant but not flashy. She smelled faintly of vanilla. "You're welcome," he said. "Glad I could help." She hesitated, then extended her hand. "I'm Claire." "Ethan." They shook. "Well, Ethan," she said, smiling, "I owe you coffee at least." He chuckled. "That's kind, but I've got a kid waiting at home." Her smile softened. "Lucky kid." He nodded. "She keeps me busy." Claire glanced at her phone. "I should probably go before my date thinks I stood him up." Ethan grimaced. "Good luck." She made a face. "You too." They exchanged a final smile before she got into her car and pulled away. Ethan watched her disappear into traffic, feeling strangely lighter for a moment. Then his phone buzzed again. Blind date, 7:00 p.m. He groaned. By the time Ethan dropped Lily off at his mom's house and made it to the restaurant, he was already 10 minutes late. His sister had arranged everything, insisting he needed to get back out there. He'd agreed mostly to stop her from nagging. The restaurant was warm and softly lit, filled with quiet conversations and clinking glasses. Ethan checked the name on the reservation and scanned the room. He spotted a woman sitting alone near the window. His stomach dropped. It was Claire. She looked up at the same moment and froze. For a full second, neither of them moved. Then recognition spread across her face, followed by surprise, then something like relief. Ethan stood there awkwardly, hands shoved into his pockets. "No way," Claire said softly. He let out a short laugh. "Apparently way." She stood up. "You're Ethan." He nodded. "And you're Claire." They both started laughing, the tension breaking instantly. "Well," she said, pulling out her chair again, "this is unexpected." "That's one word for it." He sat across from her, still shaking his head. "I can't believe it," she said. "Of all the people." "I was dreading this date," Ethan admitted. "Not you specifically, just dating in general." She smiled. "Same, my best friend signed me up for this without asking." They ordered drinks and settled in. Conversation came surprisingly easy. Claire worked in interior design and loved rescuing old furniture. Ethan told her about Lily, about juggling work and parenting, about how quiet the house felt sometimes after bedtime. She listened intently, not with polite interest but genuine care. "I lost my dad a few years ago," Claire said quietly, "so I know what it's like when your whole world changes." Ethan nodded. "It does something to you." They talked about favorite movies, terrible first dates, and the strange comfort of routine. Ethan found himself laughing more than he had in months. At one point Claire said, "You know, if you hadn't stopped earlier." "I know," he replied. "I almost didn't." She met his eyes. "I'm really glad you did." So was he. Dinner passed quickly, and before they knew it, the restaurant was beginning to empty. Outside the air was cool and calm. "I had a really nice time," Claire said. Ethan hesitated, then said, "Me too." She smiled. "Would you want to do this again, not blind this time?" He chuckled. "I'd like that." They exchanged numbers, standing awkwardly for a moment before Claire leaned in and hugged him lightly. "Thank you for fixing my car," she whispered, "and for not running away when you saw me again." She laughed. "I thought about it." Over the next few weeks, Ethan and Claire started seeing each other regularly. Coffee turned into dinners. Dinners turned into walks in the park. Eventually, Ethan introduced her to Lily. He'd been nervous about that part. Lily had been quiet and cautious since losing her mom, and Ethan was protective of her heart. But Claire won Lily over with coloring books, silly voices, and genuine patience. One afternoon, while Ethan grilled burgers in the backyard, he watched Claire and Lily sitting on the grass, braiding flowers into a crooked crown. "Daddy," Lily called, "Claire made me a princess hat." Ethan smiled. Claire looked up at him, sunlight catching in her hair. Something settled in his chest. Later that evening, after Lily had fallen asleep, Ethan and Claire sat on the couch, wrapped in a blanket. "I didn't think I was ready for this," Ethan admitted, "for someone new." Claire rested her head on his shoulder. "Neither did I." He took her hand. "That day on the road, I thought I was just helping a stranger." She squeezed his fingers. "Sometimes strangers change everything." Ethan thought about how close he'd come to driving past her, how easily their paths could have never crossed. Life had a strange way of placing people exactly where they needed to be. He kissed her forehead softly. "I dreaded that blind date," he said. Claire smiled. "Funny, it turned out to be the best thing that happened to me all year." Ethan looked at his sleeping daughter down the hallway, then back at Claire. Maybe he wasn't just dad anymore. Maybe he was still Ethan too, still capable of love, still open to hope. All because he chose to pull over and help a woman with a broken car, never knowing she would become someone who slowly, gently helped fix his heart.